This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some big updates to share with you. Pramila Jayapal, Progressive Caucus leader, is calling on President Biden for executive orders for more stimulus. I'll let you know exactly what she said there. With the U.S. economy, hourly wages have basically stalled and gas prices are going up, including other inflationary prices. The Russian economy is tanking. Russians are starting to leave the country and starting to ration food due to all the sanctions going on. When it comes to stimulus, struggling homeowners could now get up to $80,000 in stimulus aid, and struggling families can get up to $5,000 to help with water bills, and applications are open now, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a more than mundane Monday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So yesterday we got to go to some hot springs in Denver. We're actually outside of Denver. It was a lot of fun. Snowing outside, but we were out in the water. It was really warm. I'll talk more about that later on. First, average hourly wages rose by 1 penny in February, falling behind inflation. So what's going on here is workers saw an average pay grow by 5.1% in the past year to $31.58 an hour, according to February jobs report issued Friday. And rank and file workers saw a 6.7% bump. However, hourly earnings grew by just 1 cent from January, much less than the big increases in recent months. The slowdown suggests employers are having an easier time hiring and don't need to raise as much wages to compete. So it looks like hourly wages still not going up. Hiring seems to be a little bit better, but we're not fully there as we were before. National average for a gallon of gas tops $4, the highest price at the pump since 2008. Gas prices surged to the highest level since 2008 on Sunday. The national average for a gallon of gas hit $4.009, according to AAA, which is the highest since 2008. And Andy Lupo, president of Lupo Oil Associates, said the next stop for the national average is going up to $4.50 a gallon. So not sure if it's just the town that I'm in Colorado, but right down the street from me, I'm in Winter Park right now in Colorado. It was, I think, $4.50, or actually, yeah, $4.50 a gallon. But it could just because we're in the mountains and it's harder to get gas here. So let me know down in the comments below, have you seen the gas prices rising a lot by you? Let me know down in the comments below. When it comes to Russia, really quick, what's going on? So Visa and MasterCard suspend operations in Russia over Ukraine invasion. So among many other businesses that are divesting and avoiding business with Russia and canceling Russia, Visa, MasterCard, those are two big ones right there. And then Russian shops to limit food sales as sanctions over Ukraine start to bite. So Ukraine war, Moscow has been hit with a damaging package of financial and cultural penalties by Western countries. Unfortunately, with the way things that are going in Russia, a lot of Russian civilians are going to suffer in order to try to squeeze Putin from doing more damage in Ukraine. It's a really sad situation. As a result, Russians are fleeing as nation faces economic collapse. So Russians are fleeing the country as sanctions lead to closed borders, food rationing, and the actual threat of banking system collapse within days. So a lot of people are flying out on certain airlines that are available, and a lot of them are going on foot to different countries like Finland, Estonia. So it's a really bad situation going on, all because of one person just ruining millions of lives. Next, let's get into stimulus checks, what's going on with that. So new automatic $600 stimulus checks to be sent to 250,000 workers in just 4 months. Find out if you're eligible. So this is the low-income workers in Oregon getting $600 checks there. Then struggling homeowners can now get up to $80,000 in stimulus aid. So the Homeowners Assistance Fund could give out almost $10 billion in aid. We heard about that last year. Homeowners who need assistance could qualify for $15,000 to $80,000. So it all depends on the states and who's eligible for this. So you have to have a lower income than most. I think it's 150%. Also need a household income that's below 150% of the area's median income. So there is house assistance, mortgage assistance still available with that. Then struggling families can get up to $5,000 to help with water bills, and applications are open now. This is happening in a few states. So this is happening in New Jersey, New York, and Nebraska have announced low-income families may now apply for financial assistance with their water bills. So yeah, that's going on in those states. New York is giving a maximum payment on behalf of each household is $5,000. Nebraska up to $2,500 for the year. So yeah, and then New Jersey is giving up to $6,439 a month for a family of four. I don't know if that's right for, Okay, that seems like a lot for water. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. And then moving on, what's going on with the big package, the Building a Better America, which is the new Build Back Better version 2. So Pramila Jayapal and Tiffany Cross equate Democrats' agenda with fighting Putin in Ukraine. So it looks like Ukraine is taking a lot of the media bandwidth, and this is the conversation that's moving forward in terms of more stimulus aid and other types of stimulus provisions. Here is Pramila Jayapal talking more about that.
All right, welcome back. We've got some breaking news to get to shortly. But for now, with all eyes focused on Russia's invasion of Ukraine, there's concern that the domestic agenda is being pushed to the back burner, with critical issues like police reform, voting rights, and Build Back Better stuck in limbo. So how can Dems address the crisis abroad and take care of business here at home? And the Republicans are not off the hook either. Joining me now, Representative Pramila Jayapal. She's chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Congresswoman, I'm so happy to have you with us this morning. Thank you for being here. Look, Ukraine is sucking up all the oxygen in the room right now. Understandably, what happens there will cast a wide net of influence across the globe. So I understand that makes sense. But there is still important policy issues facing people here at home. Chief among them, I'd say, is voting rights, which is crucially important in a midterm year. We're seeing this play out in real time in Texas, which just had its primary this week. President Biden is meeting with the Labor Secretary and labor leaders today. A lot happening here domestically. So I think what people are concerned about is, can the Democratic majority walk and chew gum at the same time? Your thoughts?
Tiffany, first of all, it's great to see you as always. Look, I think that is exactly what we have to do. We can't take our eyes off of any of the things that we need to get done. And I think you heard President Biden walking this line during the State of the Union. About a third of the speech was about Ukraine, which is a massive issue for us in the United States. Obviously, a war on the European continent affects everybody, and it affects us in terms of, the basics of how we operate every day, including, of course, gas prices. But I will just say that there is a connection between what we are trying to do domestically and what we are trying to do internationally. Let me give you 3 ways that that's the case. First of all, democracy. We are both in the European Union and, with the war on Ukraine, the aggression of Russia on Ukraine, and here in the United States, we are trying to show that democracy works. We cannot allow suppression of votes domestically, nor can we allow dictators in Europe or anywhere in the world to take over. So that is a real connection. Secondly, if we ever want to be truly free of the ability of dictators to blackmail us over oil and gas, we should be investing right here at home in renewable energy technologies. We should be weaning ourselves of fossil fuels so that this situation that we're in does not happen again in terms of, feeling like we can't stop Russian oil and gas imports because it's going to drive up prices here at home. By the way, no matter what we do, prices of gas are going to go up. So any Republicans who try to say that it's drill, baby, drill, and that solves the problem, it's wrong. That is not the case. We are going to see gas prices rise, but it is in service to trying to quell a dictator. And finally, if we want democracy to work, Tiffany, then we've also got to show that we don't have these massive inequalities of wealth and income, which is why we need to lower the cost of childcare, lower the cost of housing, lower the cost of prescription drugs, so that we can show people that it actually matters to have a democratic country, a country that invests in everybody. So that's how I see these two things going hand in hand together, and it's why we're not going to stop working on the domestic agenda.
Is what can Congress get done? You know, voter legislation has died, police reform has died, and so when you ask the American people to trust you again, what is it that you're offering?
Yes, very good point. We are about to unveil a slate of executive actions, the Congressional Progressive Caucus will, that address all of these different areas. I want to be clear, it's not going to be as good as legislation, but we have to cancel student debt. We have to do, there are some things we can do around criminal justice from an executive perspective. The Department of Justice can do them. We need to make sure we're bringing down the cost of prescription drugs. We can do that through march-in rights. We need to take on climate change. These are executive actions that can happen with this president. But in addition, I have not given up on passing a bill that takes on climate change, that addresses childcare, that cuts that makes the tax system more fair and that cuts the cost of prescription drugs. I believe that something like that is possible. We're going to continue to push on it. But at the end of the day, Tiffany, just really quickly, this is what we have to remember. If it were easy, it would have been done. And there is nobody in the history of civil rights in the world that stopped when we came up against barriers. So we need bigger majorities in the House and the Senate if we're really going to be able to deliver on some of the things we need to deliver on.
Yeah, elections have consequences, just like you said. Thanks so much, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal. I've got some breaking news I got to get to, but thanks for being here.
So Pramila Jayapal saying that President Biden needs to have executive orders for all of these type of stimulus provisions. Is it going to happen? We haven't heard anything from President Biden. Pramila Jayapal has been calling on President Biden to cancel student loans via executive order. In the past, stimulus checks through executive order, among many other things, and President Biden has been silent on that. So when it comes to more stimulus aid through executive order, not so sure it's going to happen, but I'll keep you updated to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. So this is the one thing that you should really know. What are the things that makes you happy? Tell me. What is it? Being with your family? Because being with my family makes me feel so warm and comfy in the inside. And also, a second thing that I love doing is I love being with my sister. I know she's a bit crazy. So this is all the things that I wanted to say in the comments. And say anything in the comments below if you want to do anything. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. So yesterday we got to go to hot springs, which is something we've always wanted to do. So I think there were like 15 different pools and natural water coming from the mountain, super hot, up to I think one of them was 115 degrees, one of the pools. And we were just hanging out in the water. It started to snow, but we were still warm. I think the temperature outside was around 20 degrees. So we would go from one pool to another. It was very cold, but if you stayed in it long enough, you'd be really warm. So it was a really fun time. Tomorrow, we're actually going to attempt to go snowboarding as a family. So I'll keep you updated on that tomorrow. If you want to check out my latest videos on my other channels, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.